I wouldn't doubt that mom told that dad, look, if you don't bring food for these kids, I ain't gonna let you see your kid no more.
Damn.
And that might be it's definitely fucked up. But he might turn around and be like, fuck it then. Just never show back up. Like, dudes do that shit. Like,
Yep.
Like, they ain't, I'm not saying like, I don't know. It seems like men quit too easy in terms of these things. I'm not saying that like women are making it easy out here, like either, right? But it seems like all it takes is one or two little hurdles, and they're just like, fuck it, I'm not coming around no more.
Well, for our first topic, boys, social media has been going crazy about this woman recording one of her baby daddies dropping off McDonald's for his child. Apparently, that's not a thing that he should be doing. He should be dropping off food for all these kids, even if they're his or not. I don't understand the expectation of it, of why that's a bad thing or a good thing. Let's talk about it real quick and see, like, maybe I'm bugging out for thinking that that's not a wrong thing to do. You guys tell me.
Okay, Doey, give us the breakdown on this video. You're the one that introduced us to this video. Give us a quick breakdown, especially for the audience that might not know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, Twitter was erupted this like past week because this young lady, she starts the video off by saying pretexting what was gonna happen. She says, I bet he only has food for his kid. He didn't buy food for my other 3 children. He hops out the car, and then the bag is dumb small McDonald's, and she immediately starts calling it out. She says, that don't look like enough food for 3 children or 4 children. And he's like, huh? He starts.
He was dumbfounded.
Like, huh? He said, first of all, he's like, why are you recording me? And she's like, because I'm going to put you out. Which, I'm going to be completely honest, that shit's kind of whack. Like, trying to put somebody out. I don't know this guy's situation. I don't know like what his funds are like. I don't know. I do think that.
Hold up. You're still in video explanation.
Yeah, my bad. Video explanation. So anyways, they start getting to an argument. He's like, I could understand if it was one other kid. He's like, but you got 3 other children in there. He's like, I don't got money for that. He's telling her she's just bashing him. And the video goes on, and it's just not, that's pretty much it. And a lot of people were defending the guy and saying,
well, then she says, okay, give me the food and I'll take it to him. She takes the food and then throws it on the floor.
Oh, wow.
She throws the drink down and throws the food on the floor. Fuck that shit. I ain't giving that. Yeah, close the door.
So. Yeah, wow. Fuck that. Fuck her, too. That's bugged out. Like, if I'm bringing my kid food, I don't give a fuck about them other kids. Like Jordan said, fuck them kids. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Respectfully, I'm here for my child. Like, that's it. Like, it's my view on it. It's not his job to be caring for other dudes' kids. It's not. Like, you don't pay child support. Like, if you were to pay child support, you don't pay child support for kids that are not yours. You pay for your one child. Why the fuck do I got to feed another person's kid? It don't make no sense. Now, if you invite the kid out with your son or daughter, sure. There you should, be nice and buy the kid food, but nah.
There's some context missing in this video. I don't have a lot of strong opinions because there's some context missing in this video, right? Like, I don't know. I have no idea if that dude is like currently in a relationship with that woman or not.
There's a part 2 that just dropped like a day or 2 ago, where she goes into more depth of her explanation of it. And apparently they were in a relationship. He has a very, he lived with those children while he had a child with her. Those children know him as their stepfather and stuff like that. They just broke up. I guess they're broken up, and I guess the kids are taking it hard, and I guess she's taking it hard. And if she was to bring McDonald's just for one kid, the other kids naturally are going to look at him and be like, how come he's the only one getting McDonald's? And I'm not going to lie, even as a child with a brother, I kind of get where like I would have been the same way. Like, how come he got McDonald's and I ain't get nothing? You know what I mean?
His father brought it.
Yeah, but how do you explain that to a child, right? Like, how do you explain that to like? You're gonna say you don't have to. You're gonna like.
No, I mean that's difficult. Yeah, but
the context that I was missing is whether he was or was not in a relationship with him. From the situation that Doey just described, yeah, dude's fucking up. If he wanted to take only his kid food, if he wanted to treat only his kid as good, grab that kid, take him to fuck McDonald's, bring him back afterwards.
But what if she didn't let him though? That's okay, another twist.
But now we're just adding extra shit that's unknown into here because none of that context is covered in the video or not. I would assume not because she was gonna let him just walk in with food to give to his kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still not his job. I mean, yeah, when they were together, it was his job, but they're not together no more. So that's not his responsibility. His responsibility is to his son.
It depends on the time frame, though, right? Like how long? Like if those kids looked at him as like their stepfather, if the relationship lasted that long, that bond was built, it's kind of a shitty move to not bring those kids food.
Yeah, I could sympathize with both sides. Like, I don't think that he should be obligated to, do that. But at the same time, I mean, there's different angles, right? Like from the kid's perspective, the child receiving the food, like that kid might think like, damn, my father hates my brothers. Like that's a weird, I think that's like a weird thought, like for a kid to be having. And then of course there's the context of if he was a stepfather, for how long? Like, what if he raised them kids for like 6 years? Let's just say, hypothetically, right? And like some of them kids, like that's the dad they know, and now he's like, nah, fuck y'all, I'm bringing food for just one kid. It's like, sure, I still don't disagree that he doesn't necessarily have an obligation, but he's got to know that he's gonna be harming those other kids in some capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this.
Even if he was coming to pick up the one kid, the other kids are still gonna feel like damn, like he don't care about me. He ain't picking me up. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't think he's obligated to do that. I could sympathize with that side. She's also very easy to hate because she's the amount of shit she's talking and all of that. It just feels like fuck all that noise. Like that's my son. I'm gonna take care of my kid type of shit. Like I think it elicits that type of reaction. But I don't know. I would be uncomfortable if one of my parents disliked my brothers. Like I would look at like how could somebody say they love me but they don't like my sibling? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, there's a bunch of variables that go in. Like, yeah, I would just pick up my kid. But if I was raising those other kids for a year or so and like I claimed them when I was with them, yeah, but to a certain degree, you kind of have to like not be 2 foot in. You know what I mean? It's like you got to slowly step out at some point. I mean,
do you?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it does. I think the amount of time.
Imagine you raise someone for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, that's beast.
And then you leave and you're just like, never talk to me again because I'm not your dad. It would be a very strange thing to do.
We don't share blood. Peace.
Right. It would be a very weird thing to do. Like, I think in that situation, I think after a certain number of years and a certain degree of bond, even if there was a divorce or a split up, I think for a lot of people, they're going to look to that kid as their kid. Like if they just had a breakup with someone that they had a biological child with. But
yeah, I mean, that aspect, yeah, there's certain changes. But for this particular one, her being like that, and I don't think they're probably together long enough. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't deal with that shit. I'll just, like, as much as that would suck, I would just pick up my kid and leave. Come back later, because I'm not going to deal with her fucking coming out here harassing.
I mean,
and shit.
I mean, depending on the situation, like, right, that's obvious. I think that's the ideal way to do it. Let's say that he had no relationship to these other kids. Maybe let's say like he dated her for like a week or something like that, or a month or some arbitrary period of time, right? the move would be to pick up the kid and go and take him for food and then come back. I think that dropping off food to just a single person is weird. Let me put it this way. If you were going over to a buddy's house or something, right? And you were hungry on your way there and you were going to stop by McDonald's or something, you're not going to call up your buddies. You're not going to text your buddies and be like, hey, I'm picking up food while I'm on the way over to chill. Do y'all want anything?
Yeah, you should do that. You should.
Exactly.
You should. 1,000%.
Why should you?
What do you mean?
I think it's like in
It's a
society.
simple question. I just want to know, why should you?
I think in society it's a polite thing to do. I don't think you're necessarily an asshole if you don't do it, but there is some lack of consideration if you just show up with food to someone's house and you're not doing like the, hey, you want a shake or something? You want a soda? Do you want some fries or some kind of like check-in?
So
That's
if I'm going to
understandable.
Pucho's house and I'm like, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat, I'm going to call him. Like, yo, I'm going to pick something up. Did you make food or not? I can bring you something or what's going on? That's what I'm doing. Same thing if I'm in my house and I'm about to order food, I'm going to say, yo, Pooch, I'm about to order something. Do you want to eat it or you want me to order you something or what? You know, I can pay or you're going to give me money, whatever the case may be. I'm going to ask you. Simple.
You just said the same thing two different ways. I just want to know, why should you?
Because it's just nice. For your friends, it's nice. Why not? Oh. You don't like your friends enough to be like, hey, I'm going to order food. Do you want me to get you something? You don't have to specifically like pay for them, but you can ask. Because then what? I show up with food or you have food and I show up to your house and you're eating right there in front of me. I'm be like, damn, I should have got something to eat before. Like, it's just an awkward feeling.
It'd be pretty funny. You have your friends over, you order a pizza, but you're not sharing that pizza with anyone else. You're like, no, this is for me.
Chill. This is my pizza.
You know what's crazy, though, that you brought that up? It brought so much bad memory from back in the days when niggas used to order a Parmesan chicken sub with massive amount of fries, and then you ask for a couple, and the nigga tells you no. That's crazy.
I think that shit is normal. If you're here,
you're not finishing the fries.
If you're here and you could have ordered food and you declined to order, and then the food gets here and you're asking for a couple fries, fuck out of here. You should have ordered a fry.
Who declined to order? Who?
Once again, that hypothetical person could just be a broke boy, and maybe he doesn't have enough money.
That hypothetical person be like, yo, I'll order it and you can pay for it. And that other dude would have been like, bet.
I have something to say about this
on
a grander scope. I think there's an issue, especially with our community, where we want to brag about all this shit we do on Instagram. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And it's like never the shit that we should be doing is like, it wouldn't cost that guy a lot of money to buy something off the dollar menu for those other kids, right? A McDouble, a chicken, a McChicken or some shit like that.
That McChicken $2.19, bro.
Shit went
I'm
up.
just saying.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
with you. Buy a couple items off the dollar menu and be like, look, I brought my kid a Happy Meal. These other kids, they could get the fucking a little hamburger, all right?
Exactly.
But I ain't out here, throwing the bag at these other kids. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he definitely got shit off the dollar menu though.
Some of the best times that I've had.
No, I'm just letting you know. I don't know I'm making a face.
How do you know?
Because of the bag. If it was a Happy Meal, it would be in the box. Kids Happy Meal. He literally had a kid's cup, so that's a separate purchase. Then in the bag, it looked like he bought a McDouble and French fries because of how he folded the bag. I'm just saying, this might be some fat boy shit, me seeing the bag and what is going on in there, but she also threw it on the ground. I'm just saying. He ordered off the dollar menu.
So, like, some of the best times that I had when I was a child was when I hung out with my friend Roger, and his dad, like, took us in. Like, he knew that we didn't really have our dad around like that. And he made us feel very special doing that. And I'm not gonna lie, like, if I didn't have him like as a father figure to view during that time, because I needed it, and I guess he saw that I needed it, and he'd take us out to restaurants if we were eating whatever, everything. And he always told us, he's like, 50-50, you guys are always gonna split everything 50-50. And he's like, you guys are brothers, you guys split it 50-50. So anything we got, we always split it 50-50, whatever. If it wasn't enough for everyone, it was always 50-50. So it is what it is. I just I don't know, man. I think Kevin Samuels is a little bit to blame as well for this shit. Like his bullshit rhetoric these past 2 years, and you got all these incels like fuck her. You know what I mean? Like,
where's Kevin Samuels? When you need him, I saw that shit circulating.
God damn.
So I feel like it's just, our community kind of looks at things very weirdly. I'm like, man, how can you want to be so braggadocious on everything you're doing, your cars and money, and you're going out here, you're going out there, but how come you can't be like, I'm buying food for all these kids right now? Why can't that be cool?
That's not cool in itself. That's like, it's the same reason why some people don't like to post that they're helping somebody out, because it look like it's a fucking social media stunt. Like you're just like doing it for the gram. Like if I give a homeless man food, I'm not gonna record it. I'm just gonna give it to him. Like I don't need to record me doing it. Like I gotta record every good deed I do. Like that shit. To me, that's how I would.
We kind of had this conversation, and I still don't really understand it. Like the person receiving the stuff is getting the benefit of you giving them the stuff. Like why should anybody care the intent of why you did it? Like good things only matter if they did it because. I only wanted to help out of the goodness. I'm like Mother Teresa out here. I'm just doing good shit just for God and good reasons. Like, is that the only time that it counts?
So if I say, I'm only going to give homeless people food and clothes because I just want to get more likes on my social media platform. That's cool to do.
I'd be cool with that because you'd be feeding people and clothing people. I
You'd
wouldn't
be doing
see the
a
bad
public
in that.
service. Yes.
I think it just looks weird.
I think that a good thing can still be a bad thing, right? Like, I think that you're a gross person for posting these videos up and doing this shit for likes, but you're helping in a small way some person. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. You can be a gross person that's doing a decent thing.
I guess it's
100%.
like a fine line, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Maybe depending on the person. Like, supposedly Shaq be buying shit for people all the time in Walmart. Didn't really know that until people started recording and putting it on. Like Shaq never posted that shit, but apparently it's a thing that Shaq does. That's cool.
I think that a selfless act is more admirable than someone that has a channel that's just based around like giving shit to people. Like I don't know. Being selfless does add some extra to it, right? But how the fuck do you determine? How do you gauge whether something is truly selfless or not?
How do you feel about Mr. Beast?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Mr.
He's a
Beast?
YouTuber.
That kid's dope.
He gives a lot of money away in his YouTube
He's
videos.
broke, you know that, right?
A lot of fucking money.
He's like, he don't really have money like that off the YouTube videos because he gives it all away.
Yeah.
Y'all should check him out if y'all haven't. Mr. Beast on YouTube. That man, it'd be competitions like who last one to take his hands off the fucking car wins the car.
He did a Squid Game styled competition as well. He did a bunch of different stuff.
He gave
So
houses
he
away.
makes a bunch of
everything.
money off YouTube and then gives it all away, so he's broke.
I don't know how he's making money because he gives a lot of these competitions have like $100,000 pool prizes and shit like that. So like $50,000 he's giving away cars, he's giving away all sorts of shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Somebody did a YouTube video on him and the money that he's getting, how much he's spending. And they're saying, this kid really, they don't know how he's making the money, but he does sell merch. So I think merch also helps. Yeah. But like, he got a dealership for a day and bought like 20 cars. And whoever walked in, they get the car for $1 of their choosing. Like, what the fuck?
I would be surprised if this man is actually broke.
I don't know how
he's
true. I didn't
broke. I don't know how he managed to buy the dealership, but I promise you that he's broke.
No, I'm saying like he makes money off merch. Like he has to have money to spend the money. But yeah, he blew up quick. Like I felt like he came in the scenes and then just fucking skyrocketed. But no, yeah, I don't know. Helping out and then recording, it's kind of weird. But I guess you're still helping out that less fortunate person.
I do think it's weird. I would view that person as I would view it somewhat. There would be some negative feeling there, of like, oh, they're doing this for like their own personal gain or whatever. But those types of feelings, I always try to think about, like, why do I feel that way? Like, why is that negative? Like, even our most selfless acts, we do it because it makes ourselves feel good. It's selfish. It's hard for me to really think about like what we do that's actually selfless. Like, it makes no sense at all. Like, imagine some bum off the street was just like, I need $900. You would never give them that $900.
Son, man,
like,
get the fuck out of here.
Right? But maybe if you had a lot of money and the money didn't matter to you, you'd be like, oh, here. And then you'd walk away feeling like,
I helped that man
I did a good thing. I did a good thing. Like, you know, there's some good that you're feeling.
Do you guys think she would have recorded him if he had brought food for everyone? Like, praising him?
I don't think that video would have been posted, no.
She probably would have started it, saw that the bag was big, and deleted the video.
I don't think that video would have gotten any traction. I don't think it would have been posted. But I would assume that this is a repeat problem, and that's why the camera came out, right? Like, this is not the first time that this particular argument has happened between these two individuals.
One thing I did find weird about the video is why the fuck's he's bringing his kid McDonald's? Like I'm interested in what the situation they're in really is. Like, because if I was in a predicament where I had a kid, I would tell my whoever the hell's raising my, the person, my baby mama or whatever, I'll tell them, look, when the kid's with you, that's your responsibility to figure out the feeding and blah, blah, blah. And then when the kid's with me, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Why the fuck would he be pulling up when she got the kid to bring the kid stuff? I find that a little odd. I don't know.
That's the thing that makes me think that their relationship might not be as completely cut off as we're assuming, or as the video makes it seem. Like, it's weird. It's a weird move.
I know my dad, back in the days when I was younger, and my parents going through their BS, but my dad used to bring us like snacks and shit, whether we ate or not. Like, he'll bring us. I remember that shit too. It's like, it'll be like the fucking the Hershey bars, the fucking white chocolate whatever ones. He'll give it to us all the time, bro. That shit was awesome. As a kid, I was like, cool. My dad. Every time I see my dad, I know he's bringing me something, whatever the fuck it is. Like, you know what I mean? So it always brought like a little happiness to me. So maybe that's what he does. He goes visit his kids, and his kid get happy that his dad comes and he brings like McDonald's or something for him. In other aspects, yeah, the kid could be like, oh, but maybe what about my brothers or sisters or whatever? Sure, but most of the time, that's just the father just trying to make his kid happy in some form or way. Because when he looked like when he gets out of the car, like he actually sits there for a little bit and talks and plays with his kids, I guess, because the way how he expected to walk inside the house. So it's just, I don't know. I know me as a father, I'll bring my kid food anytime. Like, hey, you want food? Here, whether or not he ate or not, I'll bring him something. It doesn't matter.
I don't think anyone's like arguing that him bringing his kid food is what makes him a bad father. Yeah. It's the extra that goes along with it.
No, yeah, I never even said he was a bad father. I was just saying, like, that's why he probably brought the McDonald's. Just to be, hey, son, look, I'm coming to you. Here, have a little sandwichito. No?
Yeah, I don't get why people love to shit on kids so much. Like how Tony said, fuck them kids. And I don't get it. But it just seems like when it comes to kids, some people really just don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, that's not my kid. And I get it, but niggas are a little too quick to say that shit sometimes. And I'm like, I just personally, I don't know. Anytime I'm around, kids, I'm not treating them like shit. You know what I mean?
It's not treating them like shit by saying fuck them kids. It's not treating them like shit. You're not telling the kids that. Say it to yourself. There's
a connotation there.
Actions speak, though, right?
Exactly. I'm just saying, like, if I know the kid, I'm not gonna fucking treat the kid like shit. If I don't know the kid and the kid's acting crazy, not my motherfucking business. Fuck that kid. Let that kid do whatever the fuck he wants. That's not my kid. I'm not gonna stop that kid from doing something. Like, if the kid's destroying the house, I'm not gonna do nothing to touch that kid. That's not my fucking kid. Not my business. If it was Pucho's daughter, I might say, hey, don't do that. Come over here, or I would guide her correctly. Because
how do you talk to my kid like that?
Well, I'm just talking in the kid's voice. I'm not gonna talk to her like that. But I'm just saying, like, I would say, you know what I mean? I would do something in a way that prevent, because I know the kid. Like, I'm not gonna want anything bad, but it's just.
It's a flawed comparison though, right? Because like this is a guy that knowingly got into a relationship with a woman that had multiple kids, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we just celebrate like the bare minimum of fatherhood a lot, and it skews a lot of these conversations. I mean, because it's it's weird. It's weird to me when people just pull out the camera like that just to put someone else on blast.
Yeah.
I think that shit is weird. But I also accept that it's a more normalized thing to do. To me it's weird, but to the internet it's not necessarily that weird a thing to blast someone like that. But like it immediately put the internet in this like mode where it's like, oh, you got to protect the father. Look at this. Look at how good a father he is. Look at all that he's doing. And literally all he did was spend fucking $5 at McDonald's. And now we're like, this is the father of the year. We celebrate the bare minimum. It's a fatherhood, man. It's crazy shit to me.
I agree.
Well, that's probably because most of the time the father gets fucked in a lot of situations.
I think that's a lie. I think this is more of us just celebrating the bare minimum of fatherhood. I think the truth is that there's just a lot of shitty fathers out there, because how easy is it to become a father? You just have to come inside someone. Mm-hmm. You don't have to carry that baby. You don't have to. It's way easier to be a father than it is to be a mother, and we celebrate the bare minimum of that, and it's kind of fucked up.
It's a little different. I mean, obviously you're not bearing the kid, but like if you're there for the woman that you just nutted in, I guess, in your text or content, like, yeah, I'll be there to help the woman throughout the 9 months, and I mean, yeah, I'm not carrying that. I would never know that pain or that the emotions that come with it. But if you're there for them and stuff, like that's your support. You're there to support them in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I'm not holding the kid inside, but you're also not gonna say like, oh, like if I wasn't there, cool, I'm a piece of shit. But if I'm there, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like don't celebrate them. Like, nah, I'm not asking for celebrations. I'm just saying like I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, I think you're putting yourself into I get it. You're a good dad. I don't think anybody's trying to say like you would do something like that. But just in general, in our community, we celebrate men doing the bare minimum for their children.
Not just in our community.
In general.
Like in America, it's what it seems like. And to Mateo's point, a lot of people are just bad dads. Mm-hmm. Like
there's probably more bad dads.
The vast majority of people that are on like child support and all that type of shit, they just didn't really want a lot. That like people that don't got custody, all that shit, they just didn't want to be there. Like oftentimes, like I've been reading about this because there's a big view that in family court women get mad benefits and men just get screwed over left and right. And in some of the reading I've been doing, I've been seeing that it's like that there probably is some skew towards women, but for the vast majority of cases, men just don't want to be around. Men don't want custody. That's why they're not getting custody. Like, men who fight for custody often get split custody and often don't have to pay child support. Like, they just don't, a lot of dads just don't want to raise their kids.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's wild too, right? Because like being a dad, like I always want to be with my kids, so it's just hard for me to like that. To me, just shows me like they didn't really have a relationship. Those two, they just literally one night stand type shit, or just like a couple months. And
no, that's not the case either.
That just some of it. I'm not saying all of it. I'm saying some of it. Like,
well, on the flip side of this is anecdotal, obviously, but this is just from my personal experience and what I've observed. I have actually seen more guys that are liable to use their kids as some kind of like a relationship weapon than women that are willing to do it. Like guys that they'll almost like force their partner to remain in a relationship with them because otherwise they're not going to see their fucking kid. They're going to yeet right out of his fucking life. Wow. So they use that as, well, you have to stay with me because we have a kid together and I'm not going to see him otherwise, or some implication along those lines. I've seen more men that are that do that in my life than I have women doing, the flip side. It's always that stereotype of like, girl's going to get pregnant just to trap you in the relationship. I haven't seen that a lot, personally.
Birth rates are way down, bro. Nobody's trying to have kids, dude.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole trapping too much, but I've definitely seen my fair share of women threatening men in terms of like, do this, do that, and I'm not going to let you see your kid. Like, I've certainly seen that.
Yeah.
Again, but that's like post-relationship.
Yeah.
Like, they're not together no more.
Yeah,
like, I wouldn't doubt that mom told that dad, look, if you don't bring food for these kids, I ain't going to let you see your kid no more. Damn. And that might be, it's definitely fucked up. But he might turn around and be like, fuck it then. Just never show back up. Like, dudes do that shit. Like,
yep.
Like, they ain't, I'm not saying like, I don't know. It seems like men quit too easy in terms of these things. Like, I'm not saying that like women are making it easy out here, like either, right? But it seems like all it takes is one or two little hurdles, and they're just like, fuck it, I'm not coming around no more. Like, that's your business now. Yep. I don't know. It seems weird.
I've seen it happen, and I think pretty much it's happened to me as a child. So I think I get it. Like, I get what you're saying.
Could it not be, in general, right? If the mother is not willing to meet halfway, what the fuck else can we do? You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
take the ass to court. Try to figure it out. Be like, look, I want custody of my kid. This woman ain't letting me see my kid.
Court
but a lot of dudes ain't doing that. They just don't want their kids.
That's sad. I don't know. That shit is fucking ridiculous.
Me personally, I would have a hard time being a dick to a kid, even if that dickitude is just not bringing them food or something. Like,
yeah, if I'm going out and I have somebody with their kids with me, we're all eating. We're all gonna eat. We're going out to dinner. We're all gonna fucking eat, and I'm gonna pay for that shit. And it just is what it is. Like I said, if I'm poor and I don't have enough money for that shit, then I'm letting them know I don't have enough money for this shit. We're gonna have to go get some potato chips at the store or something like that. We're gonna have to make a compromise, all right? Popcorn night, all right?
Bringing over my pack of ramen.
Yeah, ramen.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't got the money, yeah, I mean, by any chance try to make it even with the kids and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just hard. I know
it is interesting. Like, where does that end though? Like, say you're trying to pay for your kid's college.
Oh, nah.
It's like, what? Now you got 4 colleges to pay for?
Whoa. Nah, there's a cutoff.
I mean, it depends. Like, if you're in a relationship with a partner that has multiple kids, me personally, I would have a hard time imagining a world where I don't feel like you are obligated to treat those kids as your own. If you're in a long-term relationship with someone that has multiple kids, I don't fucking care. Like, where the father is, I'm going to do the best of my ability to also be that male figure, that father figure in some form or fashion, whatever is acceptable to the people that had those fucking kids, right?
Yeah,
don't want to overstep bounds either.
But it's like, imagine you could only afford to send one kid to college. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how fucked up would it be? It's like, all right, my kid can't go. None of these kids are going. Like,
Bucho, the average American can't afford to send even a single kid to college. Sure. So,
student athlete, man. That's got to be the best in your shit.
That's how poor people get into college is through athletics.
Sad, but what the fuck we're gonna do? Not go to school, not try to be the best in basketball, or football, or soccer, or volleyball, or bowling, or whatever the fuck.
I think we should urge our government to fix the education system.
Facts.
Yeah, I think it should be free.
Oh, absolutely. Some people, I would say free up to a certain level. Some people say that a lot of the people that have like doctrines and stuff like that, they say that it makes if we do that, it waters down their degree. Somehow.
Fuck that. That's a lie.
Yeah.
You know why that's a lie? Because most people don't want to go to school for fucking 8 years or 10 years to get their doctorates. The once you get to that level, the barrier to people getting their doctorates is not the cost. The barrier is it takes so much fucking time out of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like at some level, if you open the floodgates for everybody, you are bringing some people down. Like you like because everybody who's like, let's say they got a couple certifications at the local community college, and now if everybody could get that shit for free now, it's gonna increase the competition. The pay is gonna go down. I mean, I guess, and it could also go up. But I mean, like if you got too many people trying to get the same job, typically pay goes down. And this isn't my argument for saying we shouldn't allow that stuff. I'm saying that there is some merit to that. I don't think the argument is like, oh, fuck you, fuck out here. Like, it's like, yeah, but, you know, like, there's a lot of people here who are at a 10. We got to bring some of you guys down to a 9 or 8 so that everybody else ain't drowning. Like, everybody else could come up to some livable standard. Like, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I think in a that wouldn't work. Either way, that wouldn't work. Like, if I was looking for, try to hire somebody and everyone's got their docs and someone has experience in all that and the level of your degrees all have a play in that. So if everybody's getting a bachelor's, right, and then you have a bachelor and then you get your fucking next degree and then you have years of experience with years of, you know, resumes going around, I'm gonna pick that candidate over the ones that are just fucking just finally got, you know what I mean? Like it's just,
I would say that you may run into problems picking like super high IQ people and shit like that. It's sometimes high IQ isn't the best thing to pick. Like people's academics, I've seen high IQ people that cannot communicate with other people, and they're like super smart, but they're just so
dumb.
It makes them weird. It makes them like I don't know how to like.
The place where this is manifested the most is engineering schools. Like, dude, I went to school for computer science. The fucking people that are there are so fucking weird. It is the weirdest cast of characters that I've ever encountered in my entire fucking life. Yeah. And I grew up in the ghetto with crackheads and prostitutes and all types of crazy shit. And the weirdest group of people I've ever seen are the fucking kids that don't take showers, don't use deodorant. They say the weirdest shit. They don't know how to fucking talk. It's so fucking bizarre. And I think, I don't know, maybe it just has to do with like being into computers or something like that. Or it could just be that like a lot of people that are smart tend to be loners and they tend to have communication issues. I don't know. But there is some degree of like, I know kids that got straight A's in school and they're not going to be able to function that well in a career because they just can't vocalize shit very well.
Yeah. Little view into the world of those techies, huh? That's crazy.
No, so sometimes it benefits to choose somebody with a little bit lower IQ, but they can do teamwork together. You know what I mean? And they're able to talk to each other without being awkward.
I don't know if IQ is necessarily the indicator because, like, who the fuck knows your IQ, right? Like, unless you're like going out of your way to test, like, who the fuck knows what your IQ is?
I would say that doctors, like doctorates, those people have higher IQs, right? People that have been studying.
I don't know. I have no idea because some part of that is just people that are actually willing to stay in school that long and not necessarily tied into intelligence. It's just they've built the skill set to be able to be better at research and thinking about things critically. Does that mean that they're necessarily have a higher IQ? I could not tell you. I would assume there's some kind of correlation, but I don't think that it's as cut and clear as we might.
No,
assume.
I mean, like I said, I grew up in the ghetto. All throughout every year of my school, I never felt like the smartest kid in the room. And I graduated from college. I got a good job. I get paid well. I know people that were smarter than me in school that are in dire fucking circumstances right now. So like, and again, they're smarter than me in school. I don't know if that meant that they had a higher IQ, like whatever. But the idea of like that smart person is like, they're probably going to be better off in some respects, but it's not always an indicator of how successful someone's going to be.
Yep.
If you haven't already, all the 1-up gangers, gangy 1-up sluts, the one-up sluts. All my slutter boxes out there, hit that.
That's the vibe.
Hit that sub.
The one-up
Hit that
sluts.
like. Hit that like button. Be our sluts and receive this kiss.
I don't approve of any of this. This is
So Doey wants to be head of HR.
I felt like ugh, just listening to this shit. Imagine the one up gang. Crazy.
So I found a single, one single source that has a graph of IQ ranges per career, and the lowest IQ people in society are janitors and sextons. I don't know what a sexton is. It's a funny word.
What the fuck is a sexton?
I've never heard of this in my life. And sextons.
What is a sexton?
I really don't fucking know.
Prostitutes?
Prostitutes, maybe? Maybe.
I don't.
I wouldn't speculate. I really don't know. And on the high end, it's medical occupations. Like MDs or higher tend to have the highest IQs in society. So, yeah. One single source. I don't know how truth. I just Googled it, clicked the first link.
A person who looks after a church and churchyards, sometimes acting as bell ringer and formerly as a grave digger.
Oh, wow.
Weird.
What?
A sexton.
That's a weird name. Yeah, that's weird.
What's even weirder is I don't know how we got to here in the conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, ladies
Tony
and
was
gentlemen,
transitioning us to the next topic.
exactly what I was doing.